Hi, guys. Welcome to our daily encounter. In our Old Testament reading, we've read about the fact that there was going to be 7 years of plenty in the land of Egypt and then 7 years of famine. And in our reading today, we get into these years of famine that had began. And this famine not only affected Egypt, but the nations surrounding Egypt, and it even traveled up north into Canaan. And who's living in Canaan? None other than Jacob and his sons. And this would have been a time in which things were getting pretty bleak. Famine was a time in which there was oftentimes no rain, which resulted in no food, which resulted in the livestock being threatened, and even the lives, human lives, being threatened for the lack of sustenance. And Jacob is beginning to feel the effects of this famine. And in chapter 42, in verse 1, it says, Jacob saw that there was grain in Egypt, and Jacob said to his sons, "Why are you staring at one another?" Verse 2, he said, "Behold, I have learned, or I've heard, that there is grain in Egypt. Go down there and buy some for us from that place, so that we may live and not die." So Jacob looks at his sons and says, "Look, why are you staring at one another? Uh, Things are looking bad. We need to do something about this situation. I've heard that there is grain in Egypt, and you guys need to go down there and obtain some of this grain so that we can weather this famine that is hit." And as we think about this from a spiritual standpoint, uh, we need to come to the realization that Jacob did in our own lives. You know, in this world, we find ourselves in a famine. As a famine would offer really no true sustenance for the livestock and also for the people, so this world really can't offer true sustenance for our soul and for our spirit. The world offers a lot of things. It offers possessions, it offers pleasure, it sometimes offers comfort, sometimes it offers power or popularity. But those things don't really last, and those things don't really truly satisfy the longings of our heart. And oftentimes, as we're chasing the things of the world, as we get distracted by the world and we get carried away by different things that are going on in the world, or trying to obtain things found in the world, oftentimes we look deep within, we realize, this isn't working. This isn't truly satisfying me. This isn't really doing it for me. The book of Ecclesiastes is all about this. Life under the sun is vanity. Vanity of vanities. All is vanity. We might have fun for a little while. The world might offer us pleasure for a short time, but it's not long lasting. And it doesn't really hit to the true heart of our deepest longings. And so when we find ourselves drifting from the Lord, and we're drifting from these things, and we're drifting into the world, it ought to be that we have a time in which we wake up like Jacob did and says, "You know what? Why are we looking at one another? Why don't we go try to find some true sustenance?" And of course, we know that the true sustenance is found in Christ. Christ is the only one who can truly satisfy the longings of our heart. Just as Jacob's sons had to go down to Egypt, just as there was nowhere else to go in which a person could find food for physical nourishment, the same thing is true with Christ. There's nowhere that we can go where we can find spiritual nourishment for our souls. And so it ought to be that we wake up when we find ourselves empty within and say, "You know what? Why am I staring at one another? Or why are we staring at one another? Why aren't we busy about going to where we know the true sustenance is, and going to Christ?" So that'd be our encouragement today. Let's open our eyes and wake up and realize that, you know what? Our true satisfaction isn't going to be found in this world. It's going to truly be found in Christ. This world and everything in this world is just temporary and will fade away. But the things that we have in Christ are eternal and will never fade away, and are the means by which we can find the true substance of life that can truly satisfy us. So let's make that our goal today, to get up and go to Christ. Get up and go to Him, seeking His Word, getting into the Word, but also seeking Him personally through prayer, through worship, so that we can truly receive from Him the full supply of life and be truly satisfied. So that, guys, I do thank you for watching the video today. Hope you guys have a great day. Love you guys. God bless.